Welcome back to spreadsheetpoint.com. In this brief video, we are going to go over a question that one of our viewers had. The question, is there any speed issue doing a VLOOKUP in Sheets? Used to doing this in Excel, which of course is super easy as you just click on the Sheet tab in whatever file you want, rather than having to copy and paste. I found my complex Excel struggles in Sheets, put them in there as sharing with collaborators that don't have Excel and want to use Sheets. And then there's a second part of the question here, if you can cover the images function. So let's take a look at this first issue. There could definitely be some speed issues within the VLOOKUP function if you're using Google Sheets. And I come up with some answers to help alleviate some of the problems you might be having. First step would be to reduce your data range. So if this is possible, if we go to this data, let's say you have, here's some test data, but you have a ton of rows down here, thousands and thousands, sometimes hundreds, sometimes thousands, sometimes more. If I want to look up, so here's my VLOOKUP function. I want to look up 102 and then the range, A to C. I want to bring back the name. So 2 and 0. Okay. So we'll look up that. Reducing the range simply means, see how I have these data columns set up from A to C? Instead of doing that, I'm going to select just the range that has the data in it. So A1 to C6 in this case. So instead of having the complete columns as your range, let's do the undo and you'll see it's A to C. It's sometimes better to highlight the data, the cells that only have the data in there for your range. That can reduce the range and reduce the speed in which Google Sheets calculates the VLOOKUP function. Second thing would be to use array formulas. If I go to the array tab, and similarly, if I wanted to use this VLOOKUP for a 202, or even 202, you can type it in. And we will just highlight our data, just like the last example. You'll see it comes in widget B. In order to find other IDs, though, you have to use this VLOOKUP function again, right? Let's say I want to find 203 this time. See, there's widget 3, widget C for 203. But you need multiple VLOOKUP functions. If you use an array formula, VLOOKUP, the search key is going to be here, A2 to A6. Then the range is going to be this to 0. You'll see in this array formula, because you're using an array formula, it brings in all these widgets instead of using a multiple VLOOKUP for each item. See, these are not formulas. All these this data is here because of my array formula. And the third way to reduce your data is to simply use unique identifiers. If at all possible, try to have your IDs, try to have unique identifiers for your ID. You'll see there's two 102 IDs here and two 104 IDs. If possible, it's good to cleanse your data to only have one ID that you're looking for. It confuses Google Sheets if you look up 102 and there are more rows than one of the ID. It will cause the function to work not as good because it's trying to find one ID and it sees two. These are a few things you can do to speed up your VLOOKUP. And the last question was the image function. The image function is very cool. It allows you to bring in images instead of copying and pasting them in the sheet, which saves size. So let's say I have these free images here. I want to bring in this pepper. I can simply copy the image and bring it in. However, this makes the link larger and it can slow down your Google Sheet. Instead, you can use the image function equals image. Where's that URL? You're going to go to this picture here. Here's the URL right here. You're going to copy that image URL. Make sure you put your URLs in quotes. So JPEG, it's like that. Now, what you can do is use these modes. So optional is 1. So it brings in just the image. Here we go. This is the URL that I want. I'm going to put it in here in the quotations. There it is. See, it's how it's so small. If I want to stretch it, I can use this option as 2, like that. If I want to keep it the original size, I can put 3. It's very small, so it's probably only 1 pixel. And 4 lets you actually customize the size of the thing. 500, still pretty small. So I would just use actually 1 to get the original, and then you can merge the data, merge the cells together to show the image like This way, you see, it's not an actual image that's uploaded to the sheet. It's a formula which brings in the image, which saves Google Sheet space and improves the functionality and the speed of your sheet. One other last question in this was that why would Google not let one link to images within the same Google Drive folder? That is, I believe, a security issue. If images are stored in Google Drive, you'll need to ensure that they are publicly accessible for the image function to display them. Even though you might have access to the drive, the image itself within your Google Drive still needs to be a public image. I believe it's a security issue. I hope you found this useful. For more hints and tricks, please visit spreadsheetpoint.com and don't forget to like and subscribe.